I wanted to introduce everyone that follows me to a striking visual indicator that I use on the macro time frames to let me know where we're at volume wise for bottoms and tops. I also want to compare the 2020 to 2021 period of the bull run, last bull run, to this current bull run that we're in that started in 2023 and we're now in 2024. We're going to compare this uptrend in volume to these two areas. December 22, where we had a strong uptrend beginning, to where we're at currently. We're not going to pay attention to nothing else but the volume indicator. Okay, so we're going to zoom in on these EMAs. Now notice, we're going to look at here. This is where Bitcoin's uptrend started on the weekly time frame and where it ended. Notice this beautiful fan. The blue EMAs are fanned out. Notice that they never touched until this double top. This was the double top of 2021 right here. This peak where my cursor is and this peak where my cursor is now. This was that double top. So notice that from the start of this bull run in 2020 to the peak in 2021, these blue EMAs were fanned out and Bitcoin sold off. This was the only time during the bull run where the blue lines touched. Just the first two lines touched and expanded again, double top, drop. This is the important part. This fan. The blue fan. Now I want to take notice to the white EMA. You see how the white EMA stayed perfectly above the blue EMAs. It never touched. This was the strongest part of Bitcoin's uptrend right here. The white EMA never touched the blue EMA until it sold off and we had that double top structure. It dipped into the second line, the blue EMA. It dipped into the second blue EMA, and then it perfectly fanned out again and never touched to that second top. So I want this important part to be noticed. The white EMA stays well above the blue, never touches. The blue EMA stayed fanned out, never touched. Now, before we jump to what the bear market looks like, we're way down here in 2024 now. Does this even look like a fair volume comparison at all? We just made a new high in 2024, but our overall volume is lower. So that doesn't even look right, and I'll get out of here and we'll go to see the evidence of this. This was our peak in 21. Now we made the higher high in 24. So far we made a higher high, but on this volume indicator we have not. So that's the first major problem. And since volume, I'll take this point to say, since volume hasn't even been as strong than it was in the last bull run, have we seen our full potential yet? So now let's compare our current bull run in the uptrend phase. We're just going to look at this uptrend phase, the strongest uptrend phase, to the last 2020, 2021 bull run. Remember, on the past bull run, the white EMA was perfectly above the blue, and then the blue EMAs were perfectly fanned out. So this is what I want to show. Currently, the white EMA from the start of our bull run never even had a chance to ride above all of the blue EMAs, and the blue EMAs have not even perfectly fanned out. They're still in a contracted phase where just a few of them have partially fanned out. Now, as of recently, in February, I guess this was all our ETF hype coming into play. we had the white EMA, where my cursor is, finally right above the blue EMAs. So that's just ugly compared to the bull run that we just recently experienced in 2020 and 2021. Let's go back to it again so we can look at the comparison. Perfectly fanned out EMAs where my cursor is circling. Perfectly fanned out blue, white never touches. We can even see the strong volume in the bear market. Now I'm going to go to 2022. This section right here. Now, this was the first time in the bear market, 2022. See how the white EMAs started crossing down? And once they crossed down through all the EMAs, they never touched until we started forming the bottom. Then it went back into the blue EMAs. But this whole 2022, the sell volume was strong. And you can see that on any volume indicator. Look how the EMAs fanned out. Perfect fan down. They expanded and fanned out. And they never started crossing until we started making our bottom. And here we go. Our bottom was over with. Then we started our uptrend in 23. Strong uptrend. So this visual representation not only is great for understanding volume, but also for people with large sums of money or that's just investing into Bitcoin that want to start laddering in. You can kind of see what conditions you would look for to ladder in when this white EMA crossed up through the blue EMAs and fanned out. That lets you know our uptrend was strong, volume was strong. So for people that like to try to time bottoms and want to know where to start DCAing large sums of money, or whatever is a large sum of money to each individual, you can see that this was a bear market, the opposite of what we saw in the previous bull. White EMA started crossing into the blue. People started dropping money right here. Now, the question is, will this white EMA start a downtrend? You see how it's separating right now? Will it form a little micro bottom, kind of like this dip right here where it came down? October, September. This was a strong push right here. Let's go back to the price chart. This is where our order block was that I mentioned in other videos, in the 40 to 46-ish K area. We ran to there and started an uptrend. So let's look at the EMAs on the indicator from right here. This was our strong uptrend, which looks nothing like the 2020, 2021 uptrends. Look at this. The white EMA went from the bottom of the blue EMAs, and this is all we had. One little small time period of separation of the white and the blue EMAs, and the blue EMAs not fanned out. So right here, we're getting a good dip. But will this white EMA come all the way down, and will this be another good confluence to drop some money at for those people looking to swing back up? With all this being said, this visual indicator can help you on the macro time frame. Let's see where this white EMA crossed down, what it's going to look like right here in October 23. Even though we didn't have a perfect fan of the EMAs, but this is where the white one crossed down through all of the blue EMAs. Would this be a good time, the 16th of October, if people dropped money right here or started DCAing right here? Looks like it to me. And this was an order block as well before we had an uptrend. So let's see right now on the weekly time frame, we're getting this sell-off as we went up to the bearish order block on the weekly time frame that we've been following in different videos that I've been making. Will this white EMA cross all the way down to this bottom blue EMA? And will that be a good place to start buying? Looking at the history of how this indicator operates.